This morning, the urgent rush for water in Jackson, Mississippi, with a state of emergency declared.
Come on down, baby. Come on down.
Thousands lining up at distribution sites, 1 pack of bottled water per vehicle, as their taps at home have run dry.
Want some clean water, drink like everybody else. It's hard. It's rough on us right now.
At this location, some lined up 2.5 hours early. Those 600 cases gone in 90 minutes, a half-mile line of cars left empty-handed.
I have said on multiple occasions that it's not a matter of if our system would fail, but a matter of when our system would fail.
Last week's historic rainfall and subsequent flooding accelerated that inevitable failure, but the city had already been under a boil water advisory because of harmful contaminant levels. Deion Sanders, the coach of the Jackson State football team.
I don't know if they talked about this already, but I don't need to tell you what the demographics of Jackson look like, right? You probably could have guessed when you saw the state of disrepair that they're living in. 82% black. One of the blackest cities in America. Yeah, to help you understand, Flint, Michigan is 54% black. Jackson, Mississippi is 83% black. Are you saying that POC don't take care of their things? Dude, I love that. The left's secret contempt for POC is hilarious. Pander in public, shame them in private. You are so brain broken, dude. This is the biggest, most incredible self-report of all time. Degenerate, racist. I hate Are You Saying chatter so much. No, you idiot. That's not what I'm saying. You brain dead moron. You donkey. Systemic racism is what I'm saying.
In Jackson, Mississippi, school drop-off isn't just for the kids. It's also for the water. The entire city is facing a boil water notice. Again.
We're told, don't wash your hair with the water. Don't brush your teeth.
One thing you probably never heard. Newark, New Jersey, Detroit, Milwaukee, Plant City, Florida, and Jackson, Mississippi. They've actually been struggling with toxic water for the last.
Once the city is over 24% black, it's like automatically, that means that there was a dedicated effort to push black people into that city or that neighborhood, or a dedicated effort to destroy the blossoming black community that came out of that neighborhood. Like historic examples would be Tulsa. Okay. And therefore much easier to just like refuse to offer loans, refuse to help the black communities get out of that state of disrepair, and that sets off a chain of motion, basically, that creates this never-ending cycle of poverty and violence.
The reason why these cities are considered a sacrifice is because the governors of those states have no incentive to help these poor-income neighborhoods out because their voter base doesn't live there. So when it comes to reallocating state budgets, and the mayor of Jackson is like, hey, our water pumps are failing, we need money for infrastructure, the governor's like, you know what, we can skimp on that. And after 2 decades later, it only took one natural disaster for the governor to declare a state of emergency because all 150 water pumps got annihilated. And without throwing the race card into the mix, it definitely does not help that the Republican governor of Mississippi has had public issues with working with the liberal mayor of Jackson. This is Mississippi's governor, by the way, Tate Reeves, whose best hits include calling pregnant women shit out of luck in his state, and also notorious for cutting financial assistance programs for low-income households. But his biggest flex is being able to divert an entire water truck to the front of his mansion while people in his state can't flush the toilet. So Mississippi
that was another incredible move too. What an incredible move.
Out about his players getting through the situation.
But right now, we're operating in crisis mode. I got to get these kids off campus, make sure all our kids are fed, and all our kids have the necessities of life.
By the way, this is yet another example of it's incredibly expensive to be poor, because when you don't have running water, you have to boil your water or get bottled water for everything. That in and of itself is incredibly expensive. Okay, so it becomes harder for you to take care of yourself because the government is not taking care of you. Really difficult to survive in conditions like this, and that is by design. The water pipes or the what's it called? The facility that normally would clean the water should not be in such a dire state of disrepair. And in most rich neighborhoods, you're not going to have that. In most rich neighborhoods, you're not going to have that problem. The treatment plant, thank you, the treatment facility. But of course, it doesn't matter. If you're in a poor neighborhood, then you're
for the next several days until this crisis resides.
The city went without water for a month last year, and a 2020 EPA report found multiple issues, including failure to replace lead pipes, faulty equipment, and a lack of
a reality for, again, like I said, if you have 20% plus, if the black population percentage is over, your pipes aren't going to work. Okay, straight up. That's an easy lock for most American cities, okay? If it goes over 13%, the closer it gets to 20%, the worse your likelihood is that you're going to have clean pipes. Systemic racism works that way. You can literally point at it by you can make a quantitative assessment on the likelihood that you are going to have an infrastructure that is broken by looking at the percentage of black people living in your community. No, you're wrong. Sometimes the pipes work, but the water is poison. No, I'm not wrong. The water is oftentimes poison as a consequence of the pipes working, but not working in the sense that they are not clean. Lead poisoning happening from pipes. Income map will prove your point. All right, where's the income? Yeah, look at some of the poorest neighborhoods here, and you will see what I'm talking about. Highest population density of highest black population density areas, always in red states. Honestly, I find more examples of reasons I hate this country than love it. It makes me sick. Yeah, income tab. Income tab is also always going to be the lowest too. Areas with the lowest income oftentimes have the highest percentage of black and brown population. Most of them centered around the South. You're right. Danny Penguin is right. He says, I could be wrong, but I think West Virginia could be a counterexample. Not a lot of black people, still extremely high levels of poverty. First of all, there's still, there's still, of course, going to be poverty in white neighborhoods too. Look at Ohio. Ohio has plenty of white areas that are poor as Same with parts of Pennsylvania. Same with West Virginia. Obviously, this is still class warfare. Yeah, there is plenty of that. Make no mistake.
Of trained staff.
We feel like we've been going it alone for the better part of 2 years.
Crisis also putting a spotlight on systemic infrastructural racism. Jackson's population is more than 80% black.
The whole city is suffering at some point in place. Regardless of the demographic makeup, we're all feeling the brunt of it in some type of way.
And emergency maintenance is now underway to get that water treatment plant fixed, but the mayor here says fixing everything wrong with the water system so that this doesn't keep happening over and over again could easily cost $1 billion or more. Michael?
Yeah, it would be worth it though, Trevor. Thank you.
Breaking news overnight, the Justice Department
now to the state.
The governor also did not invite the mayor to the emergency meeting. Tate Reeves stands with MEMA and MSDH to discuss Jackson's water crisis. Reeves says he didn't personally invite mayor to the briefing and isn't sure if anyone else did. The city's communications director that says she found out about the presser via Twitter. That's a cool way to deal with it, by not inviting the liberal mayor of the city that is undergoing the worst crisis. I wonder why that happened. Dude, the racial resentment is always a compounding factor, okay? Because we're talking about Mississippi. Mississippi has poor-ass white neighborhoods too, boys, okay? And trust me, I'm telling you, Tate doesn't give a about those poor white people either. But racism in the circumstance is an additional compounding factor on top of it, okay? That's how the shit works. Like a double whammy. That's great. Oh, man, nice. You know, we got the over black people on top of it.